Good. Listen, it's my absolute pleasure to be the keynote speaker. It's an honor for sure, and I am very glad. I love talking with like-minded fitness individuals. I'll tell you a little bit about AAAI, about myself, but I just wanted to say that I'm glad to have more and more opportunities to have live fitness events each year. I know that FitnessFest has been one of those mainstays that has been through the storm and made it through, much like we have through our industry. The storm I'm obviously talking about is the pandemic, but come out of it better, stronger, faster, if you will. And yeah, so the American Aerobic Association International, we're a giant fitness family. We are a fitness certification association. We think that fitness should be affordable and accessible for anyone, for everyone, right? We don't want to put up walls and blockades towards you getting your fitness education because honestly, we really want everyone to have the wealth of health, right? There's no greater wealth on this earth than having your health, and fitness is a big part of that, fitness and nutrition. And so that's our mission. We want to keep this affordable. We have hardly changed what we charge for this since the 1980s. And we feel strongly about that, where everything costs an arm and a leg. I mean, just a few months back, eggs were $10, right? At least the organic variety were $10 for eggs. So we don't want to compound that and put any more blockades on people. We know that when you're just starting out in this industry, there's already so many things you have to get, liability insurance, you've got to get CPR and AED certified and all of those other things. So we don't want to be a stumbling block. We want to build people up, right? We follow the academic model of certification. We also feel very passionately about in person. And what do I mean about that in this digital age? I don't mean in person like I have to drive to you or you have to fly to us, although we want that as well. We love that interaction, and we feel very passionately about things like FitnessFest and our own One World conferences. But what do I mean by in person? I mean that each certification that we teach is led by an actual instructor. So there's two models, right, in academics and also in our industry of video on demand, where you watch video modules and you take a test. Or our way of doing things, which is the instructor's really there. Whether you're on Zoom or whether you are at a community college or one of our partners or at a conference, that instructor's really there. You can stop and ask a question. You get that one-on-one. There's also that accountability, where you're not watching a video at 2 times speed or muting yourself and cooking a grilled cheese sandwich in the other room. There's that accountability. So that's what we want. We want you to retain the information that you learn. We want you to be the best trainer or instructor that you can be. We have a plethora of certifications. I won't go into all of them, but we have mind and body. Rebecca, one of our instructors, is also here in the meeting. She's waving right now. She's a Pilates, yoga, group fitness, just a group fitness guru, if you will. But we have many, many different trainers and instructors that are all part of our big giant family. Been doing this since 1988, and we've certified over 200,000 people over those years. So
that is amazing. That is just, those numbers are staggering. And, when we were on the Zoom with you live, and I love what you say about that, sidetrack, love what you say about that. I know everyone learns differently and everyone likes to do things differently, but I personally, and I think so many, like if I'm on, I won't just watch a video with nobody there. I need that engagement, that connection. And I know we've lost a lot of that since the pandemic, and of course I sell in person. So, and I love the connections that come out of it and the relations that come out of Fitness Fest when we're in person. You can't describe, you can't beat it, and the energy and the vibe. But when we were on, what I was going to say is when we were at the Zoom party, at the Fitness Fest party, and you told me that you were almost as old as ACE, American Council on Exercise. You said, I think just maybe a year. That was like, I didn't know that. And it's interesting that I've been in the industry for like 40 years. I started when I was 2. So, and then the things that I don't I didn't know. And of course I know AAAI, and have known of you guys for many years, and you were based in Colorado before with Nora. But like I didn't know that you were old, like not you personally, but old like Ace. And then and all the courses you have, and now of course that I know you, I'm seeing all the, I'm following all the calendar stuff and all the online stuff you have, and just how the many courses that you have. So anything else you want to say more about those different formats? The one we're doing at Fitness Fest, and I have to say I'm so excited that we are finally having a land group fitness certification in person at Fitness Fest on April 16th in Phoenix, Arizona. And for people who, for instructors or wannabe instructors who don't have that formal training yet, I so believe in getting those basics. And you and I have talked about it before. So tell us, go further about that particular certification, if you will, and anything else you want to say.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for the reminder there too. Yeah, we are one of the oldest institutions that's been doing this right after ACE. I don't remember what year they were incorporated. We were incorporated in 1988. Now, that's not to say that our founder wasn't doing this already before. Nora, even earlier into like 1979, if you will. But officially, so incorporated as the American Aerobic Association in 1988. Yeah, the group fitness instructor certification that we'll have at Fitness Fest in Phoenix, it is our foundational class for starting any group fitness to become an instructor. It is the best place to start. Even if you want to get into something like Pilates, indoor cycling, yoga, this is the place to start. This gives you the foundation, learning musicality, how to address, it's different than personal training. Personal training sometimes is one-on-one, sometimes is in a group. Group fitness, you come into a room and you could have 5 people, you could have 40 people, and you need to quickly assess them. It's not the same as a trainer where you do an intake form and you learn about these people. I was a group fitness instructor myself, so I can talk about it at nausea about it because it's my passion. I did that as not my main career at the time. I was in corporate America, pretty high up in another company, and I taught group fitness classes at 5 in the morning, right? I'd teach spinning, I'd teach, lots of different things, HIIT training, just group fitness in general. So we're excited to bring that up.
Can I ask you can I ask you if you go over cueing and transitions and safety? Because what I'm finding when I see a non-certified instructor is those seem to be like the music. Everyone's into the fun music, which is so important and I'm glad you mentioned that you include that too. It's so important, especially these days. I think the energy that everyone wants in a group fitness is important for the music. But what I see lacking in a non-certified instructor is transitioning from one move to another. Cueing, those really specific cues. I mean, I'm an aqua fitness instructor, and I so believe in those, not just saying go your own pace, but those specific cues that make just one teeny thing that a yoga instructor or whatever instructor will say, will go, oh, I get it now. So cueing, transitions, and safety. Do you guys talk about that in the AAAI certification?
Absolutely. Yeah, I only touched the tip of the needle on that. What I meant by, assessing the group that you're in front of is, anybody who might have a problem. They come in with a band around their knee, right? That's the assessment part. But yeah, absolutely, musicality is crucial. Have you ever been to a class where somebody's not working to the beat and fighting against it? It's a big downer in the class. Yeah, it takes the excitement out of the whole thing and is a big turnoff. So yeah, absolutely, we go over cueing, musicality. Absolutely, you need to know. We do the anatomy and physiology as well. You need to be able to cue the right thing. Not just, hey, we're going to work this. Everybody work this now.
Yeah, what's that thing called?
Yeah, what's this? Right, exactly. So yeah, absolutely. All of that, and then also how to establish heart rate. I'm old school. When I would teach, especially like spinning class, after 2 or 3 exciting songs, like, let's take a pulse check. And then, do we have the chart on the wall, or is it on your phone? What is your BPMs? Where should you be at for your fitness level? So, no, we teach all of that, and we do in the group fitness. There is a practical component to it as well, where we want to see you show us, a small segment. Make sure you can transition from one move to another and stay on the beat, and also just how do you represent yourself too, because you've got to have that peppiness and excitedness. We all know group fitness instructors, and they are peppy people. They're not Debbie Downer. Even when your whole world is falling apart and you have to teach a class, you go in with a smile and you do your best job and you uplift people. So that's the part that's hard to teach, because you're either extrovert or introvert. Most are extrovert that want to go down that career path, but even an introvert can teach a great class. But yes, cueing, like I said, the assessment part of it is just, you've got to be able to read people. Does that person look like they're struggling? I mean, did they stop and they got their hands on their knees and they're breathing heavy,
or their chest?
Or their chest, God forbid. We actually, at the gym I taught, had to bust out the AED one time. I didn't, but we had that happen, and that's scary. And you know what? That was a great testimonial later of that gentleman who survived, a heart attack in a class. So
there's so many things that you just said that I want to that I'm so excited about. And Dylan and I we got on ahead of time to make sure everything was working and all that, but I did not ask him if he did the cueing transition safety, but I knew the answer was going to be yes, because I know this is a solid certification, and I know you're a solid company. So I didn't feel like I was taking a risk. What if he would have said, no, we don't talk about that? So I just wanted to mention that. And then I also loved that you said you do a practical. Like, that's what, and I've been around for a long time, Dylan, you have, some of you on the call have as well. That's what we used to do. You have to prove that you have and I like what you said about the personality. I mean, we can't teach spunk and personality, but, are you motivating? Can you cue? Can you lead the choreography? All those things. And I love that you do that in your certification. And I do that in my aqua certification as well. I just think that's important, and I'm not going to compromise that. So that's great. So, you and I, when we hopped on, I think let's just talk about what we talked about the subscription and how crazy things have gotten. And it's funny that we talked about that, because just in the past few days, I have gotten, the Jabby coffee, like, accidentally signed up for a subscription, and I'm getting like, and how do you cancel it? And this Zapier company, who I got no warning that I was I don't even remember subscribing to, and trying to get my $259 back. And everyone is and of course we're talking about fitness, but everybody is so subscription crazy. And I know we're in business to stay in business and to make money, but the integrity. So talk about your organization and how you feel about that.
Absolutely. So, man, I can personally, I mean, even just this week, that resonates with me. My wife had bought something, right? Didn't realize she had signed up for a subscription. She bought these, collagen peptide health drops, and because you don't uncheck a little box at checkout, now all of a sudden it's just on demand, right? It's just on a subscription, and it comes every month. We're very subscription fatigued in our whole lives. Think about Netflix and just everything that you have. Everybody wants to have you on a subscription. We don't feel that way. Our motto, and it's way more than that, is that you're part of our fitness family. And people know that, and they see that in our company, because we have taken the stance where we don't do subscription. We don't store your credit card and put you on a subscription. There are commitments. We have continuing education commitments. We're first and foremost an educational association, so we want to make sure that you're growing in this industry and taking further education from us. We're also a for-profit company, but we've taken the stance where we want you to be with us. We don't want to force you to be with us. So it's up to you to take action, sign up for a class, come to a conference, come to something like FitnessFest to get those continuing education credits every year. But it's not just an automatic, like, you're a face in the crowd and you're on auto subscribe, right? We want you to take that initiative and then come back and renew your certificates. And we've kept that renewal fee per certificate is only $20 to renew, along with taking continuing education class. So whatever that class or conference might cost. So there's a cost to it. And but yeah, we don't want you to just be another face in the crowd that's on this auto subscription. We want you to pick a class that you want to take, not just an auto subscription. If you're a personal trainer, where you take the personal trainer course over and over and over from us, we want you to expand on that. Try yoga, try Tai Chi, try Pilates, and try something new. If you're a trainer, try teaching group fitness. Usually those kind of go hand in hand. Not always. I mean, they are different, two different things. But yeah, that's where we stand as an association. The subscriptions are out of control in our daily lives.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you for that. And I think that any group fitness instructor can attest to how much time you put into your 1 hour, your 60-minute class, the music prep, the choreography prep, and most gyms, I believe, pay you, some will pay you a little bit more, but they just pay you for that hour. I know Whitney can attest to that. It's like, I really am kind of working 2.5 hours for this 1 hour class. And so it's hard for us to keep good fitness instructors and good trainers if that we're always paying for subscription, more fees and really high fees to be recertified and renewed, and also, of course, take time away to do an in-person or to do an online course. So if you can I love that AAAI is keeping those costs down and not. I love what you said, that we want you to be with. It's not forced family fun. We want you to be with us. And if we can keep some costs down and give you quality content and quality instructors like Rebecca here, then it's great. It's a no-brainer. So let's see what else. So you are part of, let's talk about your keynote. Let's talk about your keynote and just don't give them too much, Dylan.
No, just a little snippet. I don't want to give away the entire. That's right. We want you to be at FitnessFest, absolutely, and hear the entire story. So I'll just start a little bit. It's about part of my keynote is about my journey in the fitness industry. So I was 22-year-old punk, right? Just a typical guy. Fitness wasn't top of the mind. My father died of heart disease. He was 52 and I was 22, so he was 30 years older exactly. And wow, what a wake-up call that, gee, I should set a path, right? Not a path of junk food and no physical exercise, but a fitness journey. And so that's what really jumped me into it. And then I met my beautiful wife teaching at our gym. So she was a group fitness instructor, and I would come and take hers, and I was the only guy that would ever come and be in her class. And one morning, so it was a 6 a.m. class. One morning, she didn't show up. It's 5 till, and as anybody knows who's taught group fitness, you're usually there 15 at least minutes early, getting everything set, the room set, the music set, going over it in your head, getting the butterflies out if you need to. And so, yeah, I was like, wow, she's not going to make it. So I jumped in and taught it. Not certified yet, just did it. It had to be done. I'd been in enough group fitness classes that I just did it, jumped in, and she thanked me, and it was a nice exchange. And then a couple months later, she was in college at the time, and she missed another class, and I was there. And so I filled in. And I caught her at the end, and she thanked me up and down. I said, well, as a thanks, let's go have dinner sometime.
Why don't you marry me?
Yeah, why don't you marry me now? No. And so, yeah, because of, missing the classes twice, and filling in for her. We went on our date, and the rest is history. And she is the one who brought me to AAAI. So she got certified at the One World conference in Colorado Springs, and she brought me to it. It was amazing experience as somebody who had just been teaching to go and get certified at such a large event, and all the people. I remember meeting Sean T. If any of you know who he is in our industry, I used to describe Sean, if you didn't know who he was, by like turn on late night TV on any channel at 2 o'clock in the morning and you'll see his like Beachbody infomercials. But aside from TV, you'll get served those ads on social media now. Sean's a great guy, big star, big at the time. I was amazed, and it was such a cool thing. But so I got certified, and I thought, I want to do even more. This is such an amazing organization and company. And my background outside of fitness was a little bit IT, a little bit marketing. So I'm good with computers. People describe me as, oh, that's the computer guy, right? So I went to this conference. Before that, I had tried to call the president of the American Aerobic Association, and she had a gatekeeper, somebody who would, no, you're not speaking to the president, and that's great. I totally appreciate that. Anybody in a position like myself or Janice, you got to have that gatekeeper. You can't take calls at 2 a.m. So anyway, the gatekeeper stopped me. So I went to that conference the next year with that in mind, like I'm going to introduce myself. So I walked up to Nora at her conference and I said, your website sucks. I could do a better job on your website. And she loved it. She loved the honesty, and that's it. That was the glue, and the honesty and the relationship that we had that was the glue that binded us together. And so that's it. No more spoiling of the keynote. That's part of it, but.
And you never know how that was going to go, and you never know how she was going to take that comment. But like, what do you have to lose? If she would have said, "I hate you, Dylan. You're an idiot for saying that," and then what? Then what? You would have never gotten in anyway. So I, kudos for you for doing that, for saying that, and it all working out. Like you said, the rest is history, and just that's very cool. So all right, so your keynote, and the round table, for those of you who don't know, is a standalone session at FitnessFest. FitnessFest Conference and Expo is a conference, of course, for the fitness professional, the personal trainer, the group fitness instructor, mind-body practitioner, and fitness enthusiasts, because we would love to get more people in the door who are excited. But we all started there. We were almost all of us, that's how we started. We were a student, and we go, maybe I can be good at this. So we continue education credits, learning new formats, getting motivated, getting remotivated, getting inspired, and inspiring the world, inspiring students and clients, one by one or many by many. So in making a difference, what we do is so important, and we've got to stay motivated on it. And it is challenging, like with the expenses of it and the time of it, but we do it because we love it, and we do it because we think and hope that we do. No, we shouldn't think and hope. We do make a difference. So that's Fitness Fest. AAAI certification is going to be April 16th. We also have my water aerobic certification competing against you guys. And a special health considerations aqua training on that day as well. But then the 17th, 18th, 19th is our main event. We have like 60 different workshops, 4 or 5 going on at each time, and each one will attract either the group fitness instructor, the personal trainer, the yoga, we've got nutrition, we've got it all. So we've got a standalone session. That means there's nothing opposing it, to call the round table. We did this last year, and it was so well received because everybody was together. It wasn't in breakouts, and there were 12 tables, 12 topics, 12 speakers. Dylan will be at one of those tables, and talking about how we get more young people in, and and where we're going with fitness. We're not quite sure what he's going to say, so we don't want to tease it too much. But Dylan will be part of the roundtable. Rebecca West Hessinger, who's on now as well, she's going to be leading the group fitness certification on the 16th, but also teaching an amazing Pilates workshop. Why don't we let Rebecca just say hi. No time for a party trick today, although we did love it. She was doing flips on her. Maybe you can do it in the background while we're finishing up. But say hi, Rebecca.
Hi, everyone. Nice to meet you. I'm Rebecca. So excited to be part of Fitness Fest and definitely huge honor to be part of AAAI coming up on my 2-year anniversary with them. And I look forward to meeting all you in person.
Thank you. We look forward to meeting you in person as well, doing those tricks and all that kind of stuff in the Pilates, in the Pilates workshop. You're doing a basic Joseph Pilates workshop, and we're really excited about that. So that's great. And then the round table, and we've got a couple great panels going on. Is there anything else, Dylan, you and I wanted to talk about that I missed? Or let's hear from the anybody in the chat and anyone who's on live right now. This is being recorded. We will set it out. Does anybody have any comments or questions? Dee, I would love to know, how did you find out about us? Because you are new to us. How did you find out about us, and what sparked your interest to hopping on this particular Zoom? Let's unmute yourself.
Okay.
There you are.
Okay. Just getting more information. I've been in health and wellness for over 35 years. My very first certification was AAAI. And just getting some more information. I'm located in Davenport, Florida. So if y'all ever in the Florida area, I would love to, attend. So just always get knowledge, as I expand my client base and my programs that I offer here. So
I love it. Just always learning and growing. That's what we need to do, right? We can't be stagnant. So thank you for that, Dee. Thank you for hopping on. And Joan is one of our Aqua instructors, one of our Aqua fans. And Mike, of course, I've known Mike for many, many years, and he has spoken at Fitness Fest and also been a participant at Fitness Fest. And so is anybody else? Let me see if there's anything in the chat, because I'm trying to keep these Zoom series to about 30 minutes because it's the middle of the day on a Friday. I respect everybody's time. So we're going to wrap this up. Here we go. I'm just looking at the chat and all that. Great. Okay. I'll ask Whitney to put our link, our fitnessfest.org / fitnessfest. You can go directly and see all the great choices. So we'll put that in the chat. And well, anything else from anybody else? Yeah, Dylan, or are you waving?
Yeah, I was just trying not to unmute myself. I didn't know if we still had an echo. I would just like to say thanks to everybody who's here today, and go and spread the word. We need more support for these live fitness events. I related part of my keynote and part of my story about my first experience with it, and as a young person, it's magical to go and meet all these instructors, the wealth of knowledge that you gain there. I really want that to continue and to grow. That's why AAAI is partnering with Fitness Fest and sponsoring Fitness Fest, is we feel passionately about that. There's nothing wrong with Zoom. I love this platform. I love that we can all be in different places at 2 o'clock Eastern in the afternoon, and I can talk with you and you can talk with me. That's wonderful. But I would love the handshake, the hug, the true learning where somebody can reach over and say, no, you're not quite doing that right. Let me show you, So it's those interactions. I know that I'm preaching to everybody right now that also believes that's why you're here and you're passionate about that. But spread the word to your friends, family, come to a fitness event in 2026, if at all possible.
Thank you for that. Yes, the energy, the vibe in person as well. So we look forward to seeing you guys. And if you're not on our mailing list, please just pop on to fitnessfest.org. We don't make you subscribe and we don't inundate you with we do one email a week. Once in a while, we'll do a second one, but it's content. It's content. It's blogs that will really make a difference and help you grow. Just a quick email. Usually it's Saturday morning. Plexi's on. She and Jessica and I work together on creating those e-blasts. So make sure you're on our email list so you know about our specials. We're on the early bird special right now, and you know about all these Zoom calls. Next, we will have a Zoom party, a Zoom meeting, whatever you want to call it, a Zoom experience every Friday at 12 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. We're weird in Arizona because we don't change times. So we're 1 hour later than Pacific, 1 hour later than California until we change times, but let's not talk about that. And then there's Central Time. So it's 1 o'clock Central, 2 o'clock Eastern. And I know that Dylan and Rebecca and Dee are on Eastern. Mike, you're on Colorado. It's like, well, you're on my time right now. But anyway, so every week we will have a sponsor or an instructor or a trainer that will give you this exciting, the tidbits and the aha moments and just the fun stuff that like we've been talking about today. Next week, we are talking to Allie, who's one of the founders of Surge Fit. They're one of our sponsors. They have an amazing format, Surge Fit and Surge Strength. So Allie Christensen, isn't that her last name, Whitney? Is going to be on. Yeah. Allie Christensen and my instructor, Sarah, who I love so much, Sarah Harris, will be on next week. And also, so I ran into these Whitney, not my Whitney, but the other Whitney, so many Whitneys these days, who is a big part of We Gym. We Gym is an exciting, I want to call it a fairly new company, a couple of years old, who has really great free weights and kettlebells. And they were at Idea World, and I saw their booth, and I talked to their president, and I talked to Whitney, and I'm like, whoa, we got to have you at FitnessFest. So Whitney Kulin, I don't know if I'm pronouncing her name right, but Whitney with We Gym is going to be on next week, and Surge Fit is going to be on because they're using each other's equipment, and I just thought it would be a good combo. So that's what's happening next week. We've got our Zoom lineup for the next couple months, so we'll put that in an email, and we'll talk about that more later. So that Whitney Hewlin, if that's Houlin from We Gym, next Friday also. So thank you for that, Whitney. All right, anybody else want to say anything? Otherwise, I am going to wish you a great weekend. So it's going to be a fun weekend for us, and you guys have a great weekend. Thank you so much for tuning in.